Late Night Sean Sis podcast
with your hosts, Mary and Candace.
Wow. Okay, that's exactly why I don't have a job in radio.
Same. What up, y'all? What up? We back. Oh, man. How you doing, Candace?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. Mary. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That sounds good. You know, because I know on the last episode, I feel like we made a prediction. You know, I think I even said that they're going to be like Nostradamus. Who? Do you remember what that prediction was?
I do. And then that was, the Cowboys was coming home with a what? A W? I was trying to make a W.
And what did they do?
And what did they
do? That's what I'm talking about. Go Boys. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
How about them Cowboys, okay?
It wasn't pretty, but you know, the defense stepped up when we needed them at times. Because at first I thought the way the offense looked, I was like, "Oh, we're about to run away with this."
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, they just I don't know what happened.
I thought we were gonna be way up in the points with the score. Like, oh, we got this in the bag, and then it was just like, humble yourself and just appreciate the win.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
After we had a whole podcast about that, right? About appreciating little things and humbling yourself. We are here like, oh no, we got this.
Man.
Yeah. But I'm glad they pulled through with all that between the, like I said, the COVID list, the injuries, the drugs. All of it.
Gosh.
They was able to pull through. So that's good. Shout out.
Yes. And it's crazy, you know. We said we were going to talk about some expectations today. And what did we do? We set our expectation that the Cowboys was going to win, and they what? They won, right?
They won.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. Like, it's crazy how when you set expectations from the get-go, just having that open communication, whether it's like your relationship with your family, friends, and the work, just establishing that and setting boundaries, how much more your relationship can grow, whether hindering it when you don't set those expectations. Like, I don't know about you, but have you ever felt like for me, I'm like very finicky when it comes to like asking for help. Anybody that knows, like, Mary does not ask for help. I don't at all, because for me, in my mind, and I don't know if it's just what I've been like, what's my environment's been like growing up, they're just like, you don't ask for help, you know. So for me, when someone's being overly nice or, you know, extending their kindness a little bit too much, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Because for me, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to reciprocate that back to you, or I'm not trying to. So no, thank you. Have you ever had like a situation like that?
Well, which part? The part about not asking for help?
Not more so asking for help, but like when they're like being like nice, or like their kindness is just there, but you're just like susceptible to it, like, nah, because you know that you can't match that energy, or you just choose not to.
Right. That's a good question. Because I don't want to, I'm not trying to throw no shade, but I feel like if I do that, it's because I don't trust the person. Like in general before. And that's why I'm so at that point, I may be questioning, why are you trying to help me? You know, but if you're just a person off the street who I just met, and I haven't had the opportunity to gauge where I put you at pretty much on my trust meter, I give you the benefit of the doubt, because I think, I'm like, okay, now I think maybe it may be different if it's from like coming from the opposite sex, like for me personally, like if it was a man who is trying to help me in some kind of way, then I may be kind of sad. I'm like,
like, what you want?
Exactly. So I will say and that's probably because that's just like a trust level. Like I don't, in the past, I've interacted with guys who I thought, oh, we just friends, we cool, we got this understanding, and then lines attempted to get crossed, and that's when it's like, okay, so now it's already that boundary is put up for me. So I guess that's my way of kind of being questionable, I guess, towards people when they're like overly nice in that kind of way, but like just people doing like good deeds or anything like that. No, I think for the most part, I just kind of accept it. But if it's uncharacteristic, because I know you, and I feel like it's uncharacteristic, that will make me raise my eyebrow. If it's from a man, I may raise my eyebrow if I don't know you. And then, like if I already don't trust you, and it's just like, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it. I mean, and that trust factor is big when it comes to like, okay, yeah, I'm allow you to help me, or I'm allow you to do this. So I get that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I am big on like believing in karma, like what goes around comes around. And I do think that, when you're dealing with like different people, your different relationships and things like that, I do think that whatever you put into it, it will be reciprocated back. And it may not necessarily be within that particular relationship or that particular time, but eventually it will, in a different way or a different form, it's going to come back. So,
yeah.
That's why, you should always,
what? No, I was say, I'm sorry. I just thought about something. I do have moments where I don't, like, for instance, me and my husband joke about this. And if any of our friends are listening, I'm sorry, but I'm just being real right now. So we're careful about what we allow couples to do for us in a sense. Like, for instance, he had a coworker who offered to watch our daughter so we could go on a date and stuff like that. And he immediately was like, no, I'm good. He said, and I laughed, said, why? Even though, first of all, I wasn't going to let her watch my child. I mean, nothing was wrong with her. It was just, I personally didn't know her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, oh no. But he was like, no, because I already know what it is. She help us out. Then next weekend is, oh, can you watch our kids? So me and my husband,
it ain't no lies.
No, I think we good. We'll make this work. So yeah, it took a minute, but yes, I do have moments. It's moments like that where I know for a fact you're offering a type of help that I don't plan on offering back to you. You know what? Let me just be real about it. And I'm not even going to allow you to open up that door. So you don't have to feel funny in no kind of way.
See, that's what it is. Like, you got to keep it real. Like, I mean, and I've known like from the duty stations we've been to and all the like military spouses page we follow, like babysitting is big. Like, how about we do a swap? I watch your kid this weekend, you watch mine, and I'm good. Like, we don't need to go nowhere. It ain't that important. I don't feel like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't feel like watching anyone else's kids when I already know, like, especially if I'm adding it to my crew, and I'm just like, nah. And then I'm not getting paid for it. Like, granted, you're supposed to do stuff out of kindness of your heart, but like, if your child is on 1,000 constantly, nah.
And that's the thing. That's the key, because you're like, especially if it's not an even swap. Like, you like, man, look, I'm like, don't get me wrong, all kids had a moment, but if for the most part your child is decently behaved, well behaved or whatever, and you're swapping that out for
Chucky,
little Tim from hell, like, oh no, that's not,
like,
no,
nope,
that's not gonna work.
Oh man,
that's not gonna work. So no, I think so in that way, that's our way of sometimes, like you said, going back to what you said about the boundaries, creating those boundaries of, hey, our friends understanding, like, oh, we want to kick it with y'all, hang out and we don't mind doing things, but we do have we have certain limits. Like, I don't expect you to watch my children, just like, and let me be clear, I'm not talking about emergency situations where, nothing like that, but just for it to just be a common thing for us to do, just, hey, it's Saturday, can you watch? Nah, I'm good. So, especially if I don't have that relationship with your kids and stuff to I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just already going to be awkward.
Yeah, like, I don't even know you, or like, I'm not comfortable. And yeah, I get it.
And also, y'all got to be careful out here because people be trying to lie on you. So, okay. I mean, thank God I've never had that issue. But I'm just saying, I don't trust watching other people's kids unless I know I'm cool with like it's family,
right? Like we're like me and you, like okay.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, nope, I don't want no problems.
Especially in this day, you can't trust everybody watching your kid because I would go to jail behind mine. Period. Period with a T.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
They would be like, wait, what was all that woosah, Mary? What was all that calm?
The Lord is still working on me, but tonight I'm going to jail.
Exactly.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's important to create those boundaries and like you mentioned, the expectations of your relationship. And even I think it's important with us as being military spouses as well, because some obviously have, like you or whatever, at times relationships where you're dealing with a deployed spouse, very often or whatever, right? And maybe you could, I don't know how you want to dive into this, but speak on that in terms of the expectations you guys have for one another, because you had, like, people don't realize, but first of all, across marriage in general is something that you have to work on daily, just naturally, whatever stage of life you're in. But then when you add on outside factors that can create stress within a marriage, you have to be even stronger to make it through that, So it's very important to have, obviously good communication skills, but also having an understanding of what you guys both bring to the table within the relationship, what's expected of one another when you're home together, when you're apart, all of that comes into play. So it doesn't become a negative thing in between the two of you,
I definitely agree. And like how you brought up the whole, like when you're dealing with a spouse that's deployed, like just not even focusing on like the deployed. What is deployed? The spouse tasting.
What is deployed?
Deployed is not a word.
I know. She said, hang on, let me listen. She don't even know what that is. She can't even.
Dang, Siri.
She okay. My phone about to explode.
Okay, Siri.
She about to explode on me.
But no, like not even like focusing, like if we don't even talk about the whole the marriage in regards to, the spouse and her spouse that's deployed, but more so like spouses who have spouses deployed, and you're having relationship and like your friendship with a wife who husband is home daily. For me, I have to set boundaries because it can mess with my mental. If I'm listening to my friend who husband's home daily complain that he's coming home at 5:00 every day, while my husband's gone and I haven't heard from him in like 3 weeks. So like right off the back, it's like, look, when we together, we hanging out, let's just talk about stuff that interests us, leave our husbands out of it. Because you complaining every day when I talk to you, or you venting about your husband doing this and that, be thankful that you get to see him every day. I don't know what my husband's doing out there, and I don't know if I'm gonna see him again. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't need that.
And y'all, she's talking about a deployment.
Yeah, I'm talking about deployment. I thought I made that clear though. Girl,
no, you are right. I just wanted to emphasize that. I don't know what my husband doing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know what he doing out in the sea. Okay, in the sea, because oh boy.
So okay, let me just re-emphasize that real quick.
Under the water.
No, but you're right. You're right. Yeah, no, that's why, man, it's so crazy how it's like, that's why you have to be so careful with going back to what we talked about in terms of appreciating the little things, because it's all about perspective. Because like I told you, when it comes to the kids, they'll sit there and hoot and holler over some toys. And then, I've had conversations with them when we're like, look, y'all get a lot. Y'all get a lot that you should be thankful and grateful for. And if I showed you some kids who basically pretty much are not as fortunate as you guys, you will understand a little bit better about the things that you should be grateful for. And so for her, because she hasn't experienced what you go through, it's like that seems like the end of the world. That it takes him all day to get home. Like he don't get home till 5 o'clock. What? And you like, what? 5 o'clock? That's good.
Just like that, right?
Right? It's like, girl, we still got time to have dinner. We got time to talk. We can go for a walk. Exactly. Like, what are you saying right now? So, no, I get that, but it's like, but to her, and we obviously just talking about in general, but to her, that's like a huge factor. But that's why and it's good to be mindful, and it's interesting though that you also say how you put your boundaries up, because you recognize like, hey, I can't keep listening to you complain about something that seems very small in my world, even though it may be big in yours. Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't help me, so you find other ways to help her and be there for her. But it's like, hey, that's one that I can't do. You got to call somebody else and vent about that part, which is good for you to, like I said, create those boundaries where y'all still have a good relationship. Y'all still talk about things. It's just, that's just one aspect that, you have to cut off. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know, I think part of it, like with us, in general, when I just say us, I mean like us human beings, like being taught the treat people how you want to be treated aspect, like that. That statement can go so many ways, and we're taught it, of course, because you want to respect each other. You want you give respect to get respect, but I think sometimes people take that too literally and expect and always have these expectations. These unspoken expectations going into things. Like if I do my husband's laundry, fold and put away his clothes, I don't expect him to do that for me the next day. It's like, I'm doing this because I want to do this because you're my husband. Or just, let's say we take it outside the marriage and think on like a friend or a coworker. Like, if I'm coming over to the house to help you organize your house, clean it up, I'm doing that out of kindness of my heart. I don't expect it in return. And so that's why I was saying, like, I think sometimes when you be like, well, I did this for you, so why are you not doing it back to me? That's what I'm saying. Like, that whole treat people how you want to be treated. Like, some people take it too literal at times.
Yeah. Because you're absolutely right. Because I think that's something that I had to adjust to, because even, when they talk about love languages and stuff and within relationships, and I know how I can be, where I could be like, I may think something completely through in terms of a particular gift. Let's say it's just one gift, but my thought process behind that gift, even when I give, not just for my husband, but for like other people, I like it to have some meaning behind it, and not just, I was in the store and I'm like, they may like this. Let me throw this in the cart. Like, I literally wanted to be, because, you remember that one time we was watching that movie and we had that conversation and that one scene happened and you said, oh man, I wish I had blah, 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 just like that. I got it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I usually have moments like that I can attach it to. And so there were maybe moments where when I would get certain things, I'm like, you literally just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about my husband. I'm talking about
I get it.
Yeah. And and I'm like, but then I have to realize, back to what you said, like, whether they put in that same effort or not, at the end of the day, there was still a thought process of, they wanted to provide something for me. But what I have to recognize is that they may have another way of showing how much they care for me, by taking time to do other things that I may overlook, And so I think, and like you said, so going back to the whole, I do this, why you can't do that, that is huge. That is huge within relationships, friendships, or whatever, because, that's pretty much how we judge people, based off of what we bring to the table. It's like, I need you to be doing the same exact things, instead of maybe appreciating that person, for who they are and what they bring to the table. And, and noticing that obviously there was some level of attraction, and I'm talking about friendships as well, between the two of you. So even if y'all aren't the same, there may still be a reason why you and that person attract as friends or whatever, to where they may be bringing something to the table that you need, that you don't have. So, you know what I mean? And if you get so caught up in how they aren't like you don't appreciate the other thing.
Bing,
so,
bing, bing, bing. I wanted to say ding, ding, but not bing. Oh, God. What is up with my words today?
I don't know, but I was like, okay.
Ken's just like, whatever you want to say
sound
here.
effects. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. But I think that's I know my husband gonna listen to this and be like, so what you was saying on that podcast.
Mine too. And you tape like, you co-signing. Is there something you want to elaborate on? Well, we've had this discussion before. I actually listened to you, you know, like even with the kids and him and just friends or whatever. I'm the type, I'm constantly like listening and like hearing like, oh, if you like this or you like that. And I got like little notes on my phone and I just start writing stuff down like, oh, they took interest to this. Oh, they said they like this or they wanted this and that. And then, you know, I'm doing these random like, and it's your birthday or a holiday or whatever, or random gifts. I'm just like, here you go. And just like, oh, how did you know? I'm just like, because you mentioned it. You told me. Right. We had a conversation about it. Like, I be listening. And I be expecting you to do the same. See?
Yes,
See?
yes. And sometimes it's just like, I know, no, you know, let me not even talk about my husband like that. But I laughed because I was like, that whole listening to me, he took that junk literal. And I know one Christmas, he bought me a bunch of things for the house. Don't get me wrong. This is before we was married. And I didn't need those things. But you know the rule. You're not supposed to buy like. So anyway, so I'm like, you know, I'm going around. I'm like, oh my goodness. Dang, I need a new vacuum cleaner because blah, blah, blah. Guess what I had for Christmas? I had a brand new vacuum cleaner, right? Now, his family, you know, even his mom included. It's like this was before we were engaged, before we was married. They basically picked on him pretty much like, why would you get her that? He was like, and I felt so bad. I was like, he's fine. Like, technically, I do need this stuff, but you just know the rules that these aren't the things that you do. But I was like, you know what? I can't really fuss because one of the things that I said was like, the whole, like you said, listen to what I'm saying throughout our time together and you'll see what you should get me and stuff like that. And when I say he was very literal with that, I had all the stuff I needed for like in the kitchen and all, you know what I'm saying? So he listened. It may not have been the way I wanted to that time, but
it's like, it's Christmas. You got me this. Like, I know I said that, but that's what you need to understand because y'all say y'all want this, and then we do this, and then it's like, you know what?
Exactly. That's why I'm just like, so what I started doing is, now that I have my daughter who can pick out stuff, I was like, come here, boo. Tell your daddy, mommy want this, that, this, that. Matter of fact, when you go and you see this, because she do good at picking stuff out. So I'll be like, I just let her know kind of what I like. And then, so every time now he goes shopping, he be like, come on, Katie. So I already know I got something coming. Anytime he randomly takes her out to places like that, I'm like, oh, Lord, they out here getting something for me.
That's cute.
I already know how it works now. But yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, but like, it's like, just going back to what you were saying about just accepting and appreciating each other for what we bring. I mean, because there's many other things that he does right. So, you know, I'm not going to sit there and focus on the things that he doesn't do like me, if that makes sense.
And then I guess before we end it, I just want to say, like, don't y'all like miss out on an opportunity on whether it's a new relationship or a relationship that you still have, you know. And when I say relationship, that means friendship, you know, significant other, work relationship, whatever relationship it is. Like, don't miss out on that opportunity from being so focused and exerting all your energy on one other particular situation or person who's giving you that love and that energy that you want, but you're not receiving from that one particular person that you continue to exert your energy on.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep that in mind. What you over there rattling?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's when I shook the table, it made the mic move.
No, that's just me being fat. I thought it was like a candy wrapper.
Oh boy! Not at all. Not at all. Woo. Not at all.
Well,
hopefully we'll be coming back with y'all next week talking about the Cowboys win.
Don't say hopefully, Candace. Don't ever say hopefully. I mean, it's great to be hopeful, but you need to speak into existence. Set those expectations now.
Into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we're gonna leave it at that. Okay.
The only thing yeah. You know, divisional game. I know anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, no matter how good or bad a team is, especially the NFC East, when it comes to playing each other,
boy,
anything is possible.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what to expect.
It's okay.
That's all I can say.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's go on and hit him with an affirmation.
I am enough.
I have the power to create the life I desire.
I am worthy of my dreams.
I am worthy of my dreams. And remember, shine, sis. You got this.
You got this, girl. No hesitation. That's what
I told you. Here on out, I was going to do it.